There was a moment during that segment where everything seemed to slow down. Not dramatically, not with any kind of television fanfare, just quietly, the way real emotion tends to arrive when nobody's quite prepared for it. Donna Derby sat there, composed on the surface, but something in her eyes told a completely different story. And viewers watching at home felt it before they could even explain why. Because this wasn't just a celebrity romance update. This was a woman talking about dismantling an entire life. What struck so many people watching wasn't the headline itself, it was the weight Donna seemed to carry while delivering it. Leaving everything behind isn't a phrase people use lightly. Your home, your routines, the ordinary geography of your daily existence, these things anchor you in ways you don't fully appreciate until someone asks you to walk away from them. And yet here she was, speaking about it almost calmly. Almost. Because if you watched closely, that composure had edges. The tears, when they came, didn't feel performed. That's what audiences picked up on immediately, and it matters more than people might realize. British television has trained us to notice the difference. We've seen enough rehearsed vulnerability to recognize authenticity when it surfaces unexpectedly. Whatever Donna was holding in that moment, it felt entirely real, and that's precisely why the studio atmosphere shifted the way it did. There's something about Bradley Walsh that complicates this story in genuinely fascinating ways. He exists in the public imagination as warmth itself, the man from the chase, the face that makes Saturday evenings feel safe and familiar. When someone steps into the orbit of a personality that beloved, the public doesn't simply accept it. They evaluate it. They scrutinize it. And Donna would know that. Which means choosing to speak openly, choosing to acknowledge the tears rather than compose herself through them, was its own kind of courage. You could sense her wrestling with how much to give. That internal calculation, how honest is too honest, how guarded is too composed, played out in real time on screen. And viewers noticed, because that's what live television does when it's working properly. It catches people mid-thought. The farewell element of the story carries perhaps more emotional complexity than the romance itself. Leaving a life behind for love is the stuff of films, of Sunday afternoon dramas, of songs people play when they're feeling something they can't quite name. But when it happens to someone sitting in front of a camera, in full daylight, on a morning program, it loses all of its cinematic distance. It becomes just a person making an enormous decision, trying to explain it to an audience of strangers. Some viewers watching that morning described feeling unexpectedly moved. Not because they knew Donna particularly well, but because the situation touched something universal. The fear underneath a leap of faith. The grief inside a beginning. Most of us have never left everything behind for anyone, but we understand, on some level, exactly what it costs to even consider it. What lingered after the segment ended wasn't any single line she delivered. It was that expression, held for just a beat too long before she composed herself again. The kind of expression that suggests the reality of a decision is still arriving in waves, even after you've made it. Even after you've told the world. And perhaps that's why people are still thinking about that interview. Not because of the story exactly, but because of what the story revealed about her. About the kind of love that makes someone rewrite their entire geography. About what it looks like to be brave and terrified at the same time, on camera, in front of the nation. What did you notice while watching? Was there a moment that caught you off guard? Or did something beneath the surface stay with you long after the show moved on?